On today's podcast, we're going to talk about masks and respirators, so stay tuned.
Welcome to Warehouse Safety Tips. If you're a seasoned vodcast viewer, this vodcast is going to be different from most that you watch. It's based around exactly what the name implies, warehouse safety tips. And since the people in this industry are busy, we know that time is money, so each episode will be as short and to the point as possible. And now, with all that out of the way, let's get to the vodcast.
Many of the ideas that we come up with for this podcast come from real life. I've mentioned it many times, and today's no different. I have been experiencing all sorts of issues from not being able to breathe due to a recent cold. Right now, I'm fighting back the urge to cough. And today, what we're going to be talking about are masks and respirators and the rules surrounding them. Now, we mentioned in the actual podcast, the audio version that you can find on your favorite, podcasting channel, that we never condone not wearing PPE, which is personal protection equipment. But if you neglect to wear a hard hat for a second, or you take down a pair of safety glasses, or maybe you forget to wear steel-toed boots, all those things can be absolutely deadly. Everything from a minor injury to, like we said, death. But the chances of it happening have to occur at the exact time that an accident or a mishap, occurs. So it could be, a piece of metal flying out of a machine, or a tote motor running over your foot, or something like that. But it has to happen, at the exact same time that you have that personal protection equipment not engaged or on. With breathing and not wearing a mask, and I'm not talking about your cheap mask. I'm talking about like a breathing mask or a respirator. With the COVID pandemic, seeing masks is, commonplace now. But if you have to wear it in the workplace, either from a guideline that your facility has or an OSHA guideline, then you are in an area that has probably got airborne contaminants that if you decide you want to take it off because it doesn't feel good, or because management's not around, or for some other reason, you are going to be injuring yourself because the moment that you take that off, it could be literally the moment where you have immediate and or very, very long-term damage. So it's never, ever a good idea to take off your masks or your respirator or breathing apparatus of any type when you're in an area that is known to have airborne contaminants, carcinogens, anything that is going to cause a long-term damage or even a short-term damage. You only get one set of lungs. So please never, ever do that. And you're going to find that it is something that you're going to be very glad you did. So again, we never condone that you take off any PPE, but when it comes to your lungs, you definitely don't want to mess around, or your eyes, or anything for that matter. But we always are going to land on the side of safety and you going home safe at night. So until next week, we really appreciate you. And now, a word from one of our sponsors.
You want an organized workspace. You want a safe and efficient way to lay out your shop or warehouse. But it takes forever to mask and paint the floor lines, only to watch them fade and smear and have to do it all over again. The solution? Mighty Line Tape. Mighty Line floor tape is simply the most durable floor tape available. It's 7 times thicker than most other floor tapes. It's beveled on the edges so it can handle an army of forklifts. And it comes up anytime with no scraping and no residue. Why mess with the mess and the fumes of floor paint when Mighty Line has the rolls, shapes, colors, and signs that fall right in line with 5S standards? There's a place for everything, and everything has its place. That's why we're here. There's only one American-made Mighty Line tape, the only durable stripe.
You can find the show notes to each episode, links to information mentioned on the vodcast, the social media platforms we're on, and anything else related to the vodcast at warehousesafetytips.com. And if you want to catch our podcast and or request a sample pack of Mighty Line, visit mightylinetape.com/safety tips. Thank you for watching Warehouse Safety Tips and have a safe day.